Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Eva and this is your midweek in your face motivation where I am going to blow some sunshine up your ass and help you get through the rest of the week without stabbing anybody in the eye. So I have a story to share with you. As always, I always like to try to use my own personal stories to help you deal with things and issues as they come along. Now, I'm not saying that the way I deal with things is always the best way. Well, maybe it's the best way for me, but I hope to give you a little bit of inspiration so that if you ever come across any of the crazy fucking things that I come across, then it might give you a little bit of guidance, or at the very least a good laugh anyway. So if you guys are following my story from way back in January, and this is probably going to be a long story and there's no way to make it short, but stick with me, listen to the story, and then you'll see the message at the end about how to deal with really icky situations that you just kind of want to go, oh, like you want to stab somebody in the eye, but you know you can't. So before I get on with the story, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notifications alert so you don't miss another YouTube video. And I come on here on Sunday evenings and do angel card readings for the week ahead. And then on Wednesday, I come on and give you some midweek in your face motivation. Also, I just want to make a note that before we get started, sorry, there is a full moon tonight. Yay. I love full moons. So full moon is a time to release what no longer serves you. Get rid of all the toxic junk in your life, in your soul, in your heart, in your head, wherever toxicity is brewing and growing. It's time to get rid of all that. It's not serving you. You don't deserve to live a life full of toxic shit, so just dump all that. The full moon is a good time to dump all that toxic stuff. So tonight's the night. I'm going to drop a couple of links down below because I did write a blog about full moon rituals, why you should do them and how to do one, and also about full moon water. And I think you guys are going to really, really like that one. I'll drop the link to that one down below as well. So let's get on with Eva's story. So back in November, let's go back November of 2019, I rented this cute little house here in Mexico from this lovely lady. She went above and beyond for me. She was very, very, very nice to me. Just a really, really sweet lady. She did all these wonderful things for me and I was really, really grateful. And then I went to Guatemala in January and I emailed her from Guatemala. I said, hey, look, I said, I've decided I'm moving back to Guatemala. I'm going to give you my 2 months notice. I'll pay for January, February, and then, you're free to rent it or whatever. So it was the second week. So when I got back to Mexico, I decided I was staying in Mexico, but I found another house to rent, a bigger house. So I took this other house and I emailed my old landlady. I said, look, I'm staying. I found another house. I'll clean out the old house, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so I cleaned out the house and I paid my January rent and I told her that I would be more than willing to pay February rent because I was giving her 2 months notice. And she said, no, that's okay because I'll rent the house out and don't worry about it. And then about a week later, she says, hey, you left some things behind and come and pick them up and give me the keys back. And I said, well, no, I'm not going to give you the keys back because I paid for the full month of January. So the place is still technically mine. So why would I want to give you the keys back? It didn't make any sense to me. So she took it upon herself, maybe a few days after that conversation, she changed the locks on the house that I had paid for. I paid a full month and she changed all the fucking locks halfway through the month and I couldn't do a single solitary thing about that. Now, I could have filed a claim against her with the municipality here because apparently the municipality or the offices or whoever they are, they favor the tenant. They always try to help the tenant, not so much the landlord. But it was going to cost me money to try to get $200 back from her, because that's what it was. I lost $200. It would have cost me money to file a claim, and then I would have had to have dealt with her and all her fucking bullshit and back and forth fighting. And financially and mentally and emotionally, it just wasn't worth it for me to just go ahead and start fighting for this $200 just to prove that I was right. You're wrong. You can't do that. You can't change the locks on somebody that paid their rent at your house, but she did it and whatever. And I let it go, and I let karma take care of that, because I believe that karma takes care of everybody. And I let it go. So I didn't fight about it. So now here we are, fast forward to August, and I ran into another situation at the house that I was living in where my dog was being terrorized by neighborhood dogs. It was literally farmers' dogs. And I talked to the farmer about it. He didn't do anything. I filed a report with the municipality here. They didn't do anything about the dogs. I told my landlady about the dogs. Nobody did anything about the dogs. So I took matters in my own hand and I said, fuck it, I'm moving. And I left. I just moved. I found another house, great little house here that I'm subletting. And so I moved. So I messaged my landlady just a few days before, because it happened so fast. It was just like a whirlwind of activity. It all happened within 48 hours. So I messaged my landlady. I said, look, I moved this weekend. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm moving this weekend. I found a house. I can't live here anymore. The dogs in the neighborhood are terrorizing my dog. We can't go out. We're prisoners in our own house, blah, 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 blah. I didn't hear anything back from her. I thought, okay, whatever. So I told her, I said, I will pay September's rent. I will give you 2 months notice, and I will pay September's rent. And I already paid for October's rent because I paid first and last when I moved in January. So I didn't hear hide nor hair from her. So she messages me yesterday, because it was the first of the month, right? She wants her rent money, right? So she messaged me yesterday. She says, hi, Eva, I need you to, the cable bill came in, or the internet bill came in, and the electricity bill came in, and for August, I need you to pay them. And, when can you come up here and pay it? And I said, well, I live in town now, so why don't you just come into town and I'll give you the money, and I'll pay for September rent as well, because I told her I would pay for September rent. So she said, okay, great. I'll come in on Thursday and you give me the money, and then you give me the keys to the house. And I was like, wait a second. This is not fucking happening again. It's not happening again. And I thought about this for a little bit, right? I slept on it. I didn't stew over it. I slept on it. I thought, what am I going to do about this? Because I already let it go in January. Somebody screwed me out of $200 fucking dollars, and I let it go. And then it's happening again. She wants the keys to the house. She wants me to pay her rent for September, but she also wants me to give her the keys to the house at the same time. And I thought about that. And I thought, not this time. Not this time. It's not going to happen. And there comes a time where you just become a doormat or a pushover, and people just walk all over you. Now, the lady back in January was a bully, used her weight to push me around, and she succeeded. Karma took care of her. I'm not too concerned about that. But I'm not going to let it keep happening to me, right? So I thought about it, and then I sent her a message today, and I said, look, you need to decide, do you want September rent or do you want the keys to the house? Because you're not getting both. You're not getting both. Pick one. You either want your rent money for September or you want the keys to your house. I said, it makes no sense for me to give you rent money for September and hand you the keys. That doesn't make any sense. So you choose. She never directly replied to that message, but I know she'll take the rent money over the keys to the house. And I also told her, I said, I might want to come up to the house this month sometime to, sit and chill for a week or so, because it's really beautiful and it's very tranquil. But I found my voice, And I found, and every now and again, people are always like, oh, Eva, you're so ballsy and you're so, no bullshit. And yeah, I am. But sometimes I let people walk all over me. Sometimes I let that happen because I prefer peace over confrontation. I hate fighting. And sometimes it's just better to choose peace over choosing being right no matter at what cost, right? But this time I just couldn't let it go. I thought, I'm not going to let another person walk all over me, and I'm not going to continue to let this happen to me all the time. I'm not going to let people continue to walk all over me. So I found my voice and I said, no, you're not getting the keys, and I will stand my ground this time. And not only that, the rent is $700. I'm forking over $700 rent, and she wants me to give her the keys. I'm drawing the line. You have to decide, and this is where it's tough to make that call sometimes. You have to decide when to choose peace and when to choose being right, right? Back in January, I chose peace and it cost me $200. It is what it is. This time I'm choosing being right because peace is a little bit of a higher price for me to pay. And I know that if I give her money and I hand over the keys, I am going to stew over that for a long fucking time. And I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. You have to, when you are in a situation where you have to go right or wrong, what do I do? You have to really dig deep and think about how much is peace going to cost you? Do you choose being right or do you choose peace? In January, I chose peace. This time, I'm not choosing peace. And I'm not saying that I'm going to go in, all barrels blazing and fighting her. I don't want to fight her. I am going to, and I've set out the energies. So I've set out the energies and and all the manifestations and intentions for a peaceful resolution. I don't want to fight with her. I'm not a fighting person. I'm a Libra. I don't want to fight with her. I'm just going to send out, I want a peaceful resolution. We're going to, we're going to discuss it like adults. I don't want to scream and yell because that isn't going to get me anywhere. It's not going to get her anywhere. It doesn't get anybody anywhere when you scream and yell, but then nothing happens. So I'm just going to put out the intention for a peaceful resolution. I'm going to give her the money. I'm keeping the keys. I'm going to tell her that I will give her back the keys at the end of October when my 2 months is up because I gave her first and last month's rent. So I will give her the keys at the end of October and she will have to be satisfied with that. If not, I can only intend again for a peaceful resolution. So find your voice. Don't don't get pushed around. Don't let people bully you. And you know what happens? Because I am, I gotta tell you, I'll admit, I let a lot of people, I don't want to say push me around or bully me, but poke, close enough because I don't like to confront people. I'll just go, yeah, okay. Okay, sure, whatever you want. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I'll always just say, yeah, you're right. Okay, sure. Because I don't like fighting and I don't like confrontation. But with that said, there comes a point where I kind of go, stop right there. No, you've crossed a boundary line now because now I've got some pretty thick boundary lines. You've crossed a boundary line now. And now you're stepping into the zone of disrespect and being a bully and mistreating me. And I'm not going to stand for that anymore. And you need to draw that boundary line and don't let people push you around and bully you and intimidate you. Don't do that anymore. You show people your boundary line, show them how to respect you, and show them that you have a voice and that you're not going to put up with their fucking bullshit. So, sorry that's a little bit of a long story. There was no possible way for me to make that long story short. But I think the message that I want to, I guess there's a few messages here in this story that I'm sharing with you. Know when to choose peace over being right. That's a tough call to make. Honest to God, that is a really tough call. And that, and I'm just going to take you back. I don't know if I ever told you another story. I don't know if I ever told you this story. When I left Canada back in 2015 and I sold my car and I left my friend to deal with the payment of my car and the money and the transfer of the funds. Well, when the man paid for my car and gave the money to my friend for my car, he helped himself to $1,000 and I never got that back. That was a tough pill to swallow because this was my friend that I enlisted to take care of the sale of my car, and he robbed me of $1,000. And I beat down that door for about a year until I finally realized that just wasn't going to get that money back anymore. And I had to choose peace that time because I was already in Guatemala and there wasn't anything I could do about it. I was thousands of fucking miles away, and I had to choose peace and just let it go. That was a tough one. That cost me $1,000. And then the lady here in January, that cost me $200. And now this lady here is going to cost me $700. And I thought, no, 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 no. Now we're done. We're done. It's time for me to stand up, be a big girl, pull my big girl panties up and go, no, that's not right. And that's not going to happen, period. So know what you believe in and stand up for it. If peace doesn't come at a high price, I always recommend choosing peace over being right. If you need to choose being right over choosing peace, which I'm doing this time, I'm choosing being right over choosing peace. And there will come, and I feel that with me choosing being right this time, I feel that there will be a peaceful resolution at the end of that. So it's kind of twofold for me at this point. If you have to choose being right over peace, then don't let it absolutely consume you and don't go in fighting like a pit bull. Like, choose right, stand your ground, but don't exert all your energy arguing and fighting and losing sleep and worrying and all that stuff. So, because that's not real. The cost is way too high. Like, it's just, honestly, it's just way too high. And you're going to carry that for a long time. So anyway, that's kind of, it was kind of like a tenfold message. I guess I had a lot of little messages for you in sharing my story about somebody trying to screw me over again for rent. Know when to choose peace and know when to choose being right. Stand your ground, use your voice, and don't let people don't let people bully you. Don't. Bullying is just, yeah, stand up to bullies. Don't let people bully you. And I actually just wrote a blog about that too. I'm going to drop that link down below for you as well, the blog about bullying. So that's my message. I hope you got a little bit out of it. Sorry it was such a long story. I don't usually come on and talk this long, but it was, I had to get all the parts of the story so you kind of understood where I was coming from. Did I make a right decision? I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll let you know what happens next week or whenever. But tell me, what are your thoughts on that? What would you choose peace or would you choose being right? Drop your thoughts and your comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and the message. I hope you got a little bit out of it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notifications alert, and also don't forget, Sunday is angel card reading. Tonight, Tuesday, no, it's Wednesday. Wednesday night is full moon. Get out there and see the moon. Make your full moon water. Release all the toxic shit that no longer serves you. And I think that's all I got for you guys. I love you all, and I'll see you all back here on Sunday. Bye for now.